It is a dealer's job to do everything they can to make as much money as possible on every single car deal. What we want to do is make sure that we're maximizing our savings. So my plan is to go ask a couple of salespeople if they could give one piece of advice to a customer to make sure that that customer was going to get a good deal. From the salesperson's perspective, what would it be? So I'm going to go ask a couple of salespeople and we'll see what happens.
Towards the end of the car deal, everything's going smoothly, you've treated your salesperson good, they're treating you good. Just take that one extra step. I think the $300 rule, you just say, you do an extra $300 and I'll sign right now. I mean, they might say yes, they might say no, but you never know. So that's one thing I'd do.
If I were to give one single piece of advice to a customer coming into the dealership, it would simply be to not be a douchebag. 90% of the time you come in, you be a nice person, we're going to work out a deal for you. We're going to want to do what's best for you. If you come in demanding stuff or just being rude, acting entitled, it's more likely that we're going to do our best to make more money on you than not. So be a nice person and we're going to take care of you.
Biggest thing when buying a car is, don't rush the process of buying a car, but also keep your emotion out of the shopping process. The other thing is when there's a good deal in front of you, jump on that opportunity. They don't come all the time.
Okay, I really didn't get to talk to quite as many salespeople as I'd hoped to, so I think I'm going to append what they said and give some of my own advice. Now, I sold cars for about 3 years, and I just recently stopped selling cars. So from my perspective as a salesperson, here's a couple of things that I would add. I think the best piece of advice that I could give you is to make sure that you do your research. Research is key. You got to know what the cars are selling for, whether it's new or used, what your trade-in might be valued at, what kind of finance options there are. You have to understand these things, and I would say keep an open mind, but not an open wallet. And I think that ties in really well with what the other salesperson said about keeping emotion out of it and be prepared to move quickly should a good deal arise. I think you've got to get bids from multiple dealerships over the phone. Now, we've got to be kind to these people because, it stinks to be the salesperson when you're having somebody shop you against a lot of dealerships, but it's what's going to get you a great deal. Now, please give preference to the dealership that you test drove at as long as they were decent. I think they should be able to get that business because the other dealerships didn't have to take you for the test drive and spend that time. Kind of an interesting thing I could recommend is to try to excite the salesperson. Now, don't overdo it, but let them know that, hey, I'm just looking for the right deal. As long as you can provide me with that right deal, I'm here to buy. I'm not here to kick tires. And that's what a salesperson loves. That's what's going to get them to go to their sales manager. And that excitement that you give the salesperson is going to rub off on the sales manager, who should be willing to give you an even better deal. Okay, the last thing I have for you is to watch out for back-end products, gap insurance, extended service contracts or extended warranties, any sort of maintenance programs the dealership offers. I'm not saying don't buy these things. In fact, I highly recommend them. However, be careful what you pay for them. These services are just as negotiable as the price of the vehicle. So just keep that in your brain, and if there's things that you see value in, make sure you're getting as good of a price as possible. Definitely something to be aware of. Okay, that's all I got for you. Thanks so much for watching. Please note that these are not the only ways or only things that you might need to do to get a good deal on a car, but this is definitely going to lay the groundwork And I think they're unique. They're not suggestions that you hear often. And I hope you'll also appreciate the unique perspective coming from salespeople telling customers how to get a good deal on a car. Please enjoy this picture of my daughter in her Halloween costume. All right, don't forget to smash the thumbs up and subscribe.
Overall,
My hair looks great.
that's a wrap.